Going to have a cracking qualifying session here. Marc Marquez, save of the year. He has so many of them, there's so many to choose from, but certainly that was a pretty spectacular save. Time-wise, again, Rossi's gone for the hard front. Let's keep an eye on these tyres. Crutchlow, when it trips.
He's just heading towards the end of pit lane. Medium.
There you go. Medium soft. So, let's wait and see. Valentino. Track temperature is going up and down a bit. Marc Marquez's concentration, but Miller has been smooth throughout. I haven't had the chance to speak to Neil about this on air, but Miller's looked really good this weekend. Yeah, it was like that leading that race in his home Grand Prix. 48 now, the track temperature. It's come up a couple of degrees. Sun's back out. There's actually, they measure the temperature in the same places at the ends of each zone where they're taking the times from as well. So here is Marc Marquez.
Polished spot.
This is going to be a good qualifying session.
15 minutes to sort out who will be on pole position. Who's your money on?
Well, my money's on Marquez or Marquez is going to go pole or crash.
Can I have a... I love the way you never even ask me, because you know I'm going to bet.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So Miller has not managed to hang on.
No, not at all. I'll tell you, it was a good effort, but it wasn't. It surely wasn't going to last the way that Mark's throwing it at the track at the moment. We're still waiting for the fans on the deck, just as Hodgson said.
2 flat 0.5 is not a bad opener from Jack Miller.
So how fast was Mark's lap? That's what I was thinking. Do you know,
59.
He got his hand caught under the motorcycle. It's been coming for a while. It definitely caught his hand.
Rosa. Oh, this is going to be a session, isn't it?
Well, you know, Marquez is going to obviously try and get on his spare bike and prove everybody wrong and get pole still.
Might still use his number 1 yet. That won't be too scrape. Viñales only 4th.
This is the crash.
Yeah, down into turn 15 on the brakes. Talk us through it, Neil.
Well, it's what we've talked about all year, being a bit greedy. He's got in a bit hot. He's trail braking in, and it went relatively early. Too much speed.
Really early. Great camera work. Because I hadn't seen that before, and when he went out, I was going to mention that when he went straight out, but got overexcited as usual. So I wonder if that's just gone on.
Zarco is winding up.
Wow, look at that lap time.
59.6.
Marquez will only get one proper run. He's on his out lap now. He's not going to... I'm guessing he's not going to have time to do...
Dovi only 5th. Tell you what. Viñales. Pedrosa. The Yamahas are working. Indibit his time. Here's Marc Marquez, save of the year, surely. Just a few short minutes ago. Then a crash at turn 15. Now he's looking to try and put a pole time in this lap as well. Look at Marc Marquez giving it some. I bet you're glad you stayed up for this, folks. Ooh. Hello, Dark Lion. If he manages to keep this rolling, he's only 0.1 off.
As we hold our breath.
All 3 of us.
It's not often you hear silence here. Oh. Then can he pull pole off on his first lap after falling off? Goes to it, just missing out. 3rd place, 59.7. He's only 7/100ths of a second under Zarco's time on his first lap after just falling off.
You can.
I don't think you can. I think you've got to do the full lap in qualifying.
So has he got time?
Yeah.
Yes, to get another flyer in.
Taylor fixed his number 1 bike by now.
I'm just thinking that it's a 2-minute lap round, and he's got to then do an out lap.
Another question
got blocked off.
See, he'll gain so much confidence now. Hey, what's going on here?
There's the shortcut.
Are they going to go on the
number 1 bike he's looking for? Have my bike back, please.
Which corner is this?
Has just got out of the pit.
Hardly mentioned Cal Crutchlow, the Brit, of course, on the 2nd row. That would be a great start for Cal. 2nd row will do. Thank you.
I've just got a feeling about Lorenzo. He's not usually this close. I think he'll listen
that time on.
And that's what's happening.
Because you know it works. You know it
works. You're so close to it. You know what that front brake feels like, and everything about it, those small little details.
Yeah.
Here's Viñales, who we'd sort of forgotten about.
Got out on that hard front again, though, Mark. And has gone Cal.
I'm just going to say the man we've not talked about, Crutchlow, who was 0.1 under at that point, halfway around.
Turn 7. That's the little 3rd gear double right-hander, isn't it?
At the end of that short, sharp straight. Yeah.
To sweat. Your man's on a good lap.
It's good to see. Danny has always gone well here.
Yeah.
It's not a rocket science.
Ross is walking up as well.
Yeah.
Under a minute to go in this qualifying session for pole position for the Shell. Danny Pedrosa. But look at Dovizioso. That goes to the top. 59.4. They're all on it.
Wait for Dovi. Wait for Dovi.
Got a proper lap coming our way.
Quick lap.
Tell you what, it's going to have to be, but points 262. Dovi's got over Rossi and Pedrosa.
Vinales and Pedrosa have still got something to say about this.
Vinales has gone away. Vinales has got nothing to say as well. Crutchlow is just on the crux of being on the 4th row.
And Iannone is...
Yeah, that's my point.
Yeah.
Because Iannone could pull Crutchlow back another place. That fall could have been very costly. Oh, what do you see? It wins! Pedrosa 59.212 by 17 thousandths of a second. Pedrosa pips Zarco. Dovi gets knocked back to 3rd. Rossi's on row 2 with his teammate Vinales. Thank you very much, Neil Hodgson. He's on his way to rejoin Craig. And got to say, Jules, you could not have... I know you picked Danny Pedrosa, but...
Hey, that was an act of faith rather than anything else.
Well, education. Only a little bit out of the fastest ever lap on a MotoGP bike around the Sepang International Circuit. But Zarco, middle of the front row again.
And top Yamaha. All of the front 3.
They are. That's not an easy start for him tomorrow.
Cheers, guys. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that, when so much is riding on a qualifying session, when so much is riding on a round when it comes to the World Championship. Just to recap, what does this tell us about the race tomorrow?
It tells us that set your alarm, watch BT Sport, because we're on for another absolute cracker. It's another Phillip Island. You can see the gaps are...
So it was a great lap. We knew it was a great lap, and it went early, really early. And what that shows, Craig, is it's trying to carry too much speed. It's being greedy. At that point, what he should have done, in hindsight, and who am I to tell him, but it's just let the brake off that little bit.
It's not an easy start for him tomorrow.
Cheers, guys. I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that, when so much is riding on a qualifying session, when so much is riding on a round when it comes to the World Championship. Just to recap the final moments, what does this tell us about the race tomorrow?
It tells us that set your alarm, watch BT Sport, because we're on for another absolute cracker. It's another Phillip Island. You can see the gaps are so small.
Great lap. We knew it was a great lap, and it went early, really early. And what that shows, Craig, is it's trying to carry too much speed. It's being greedy. At that point, what he should have done, in hindsight, and who am I to tell him, but it's just let the brake off that little bit, go wide. That up on the way back round, incredible. Yeah, that's really not an ideal session for his head, is it, going into tomorrow?
But what the magic of Marc Marquez is that session's already forgotten about. He'll download the data. There was no negatives in his...
Do you think the
position in Japan shocked us all? And then in Phillip Island, almost got pole position. And we didn't. I don't know why. Stupidly, we didn't talk about him much in this session. And when we thought the session was over, well, look, there's no time left. Gets pole. 1 second, 0. Checker flag comes out. He goes over the line. At that point, you go, respect. That was the perfect qualifying session for Dovi. But like I said, we didn't realise the other 2 were out on their laps.
Yeah, and that man there, like Danny Pedrosa, we talk about